Have you ever pondered on the question, what are the guiding principles of Christ? These principles, deeply embedded in the teachings of the Bible, have shaped the lives of millions around the globe, offering guidance, solace, and a path to a more compassionate, understanding, and loving life. The first principle, love, stands at the core of Christ's teachings. Christ emphasized love towards God, our fellow beings, and even towards our enemies. In the Gospel of Matthew, you'll find an instance where Christ says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." He then adds, "And love your neighbor as yourself." This is not a call for mere tolerance, but a call to actively express love, understanding, and acceptance. The second principle is forgiveness. Christ's teachings about forgiveness are some of the most challenging yet rewarding. The parable of the prodigal son in the Gospel of Luke beautifully illustrates this principle. A wayward son, after squandering his inheritance, returns home expecting harsh treatment. Instead, his father welcomes him with open arms, forgiving his past transgressions. This parable teaches us about the transformative power of forgiveness and how it can mend broken relationships and heal wounds. The third principle is humility. Christ taught that humility is a virtue to be embraced. In the Gospel of Matthew, Christ says, "Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." Christ himself embodied humility, washing the feet of his disciples, a task typically performed by servants. This act demonstrates how humility, often associated with weakness, is indeed a sign of strength and spiritual maturity. The fourth principle is service. In the Gospel of Mark, Christ says, "Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant." This principle encourages us to put others before ourselves and to find joy and fulfillment in serving others. This is beautifully demonstrated in the story of the Good Samaritan, who, despite his own journey, takes the time to help a man in need. The fifth and final principle, faith, is the cornerstone of Christ's teachings. The Bible is filled with stories of individuals who, through their unwavering faith in God, were able to overcome life's greatest challenges. Christ consistently emphasized the power of faith, stating in the Gospel of Matthew, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move." In sum, the principles of Christ, love, forgiveness, humility, service, and faith, are not just religious teachings, but also a blueprint for a more compassionate, understanding, and fulfilling life. They call us to love unconditionally, forgive readily, embrace humility, serve selflessly, and have unwavering faith. These principles, deeply rooted in the teachings of the Bible, provide a path to a more meaningful life, a life that reflects the teachings and love of Christ.